From my understanding, you have kids at home, so last thing you want is those little shits touching the raw cards and ruining them. So let's put them behind a beautiful clear plastic that really shows you like the art of the card. Plus, it gives you a little QR code to let you know what the grade is and why it got that grade. So, should you grade with tag? Well, absolutely. Sorry, actually, I don't even know why I was thinking about it. You guys clicked on this video and you guys know that I'm a tag advocate. As of right now, they haven't done me wrong, but I strongly support tag. But you might be sitting there and wondering, should I really grade with tag? Even for your first submission, or even if you're an experienced grader, or maybe if you're just new into the hobby. Now, let's go ahead and talk about it, and let me use a real story. A hey, it's just Dan true story. So, it's the year 2025, 2026, and you guys are experiencing one of the biggest bull runs, one of the longest bull runs when it comes to the Pokemon TCG. Now, you've been collecting for a while, you have a couple good cards in your collection, and you're constantly seeing all these videos on Instagram, on TikTok, including on YouTube, right? About crazy prizes, transactions. You're seeing the fight on Costco. You guys are seeing how there's no longer a supply in shelves. So you kind of start wondering what is going on. You start doing a little bit more research. And yeah, Pokemon is through the roof. And guess what? You're a collector. You've been a collector, but you stopped collecting for a while. But now that you're kind of getting back into it, you're like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. Now I can finally get back into the hobby, right? So you start watching videos and stuff like that, and you're seeing that the vendor POV video scene has popped off, right? But that's the best way to get cards now. It's going to a card show because you really can't find any supplies on the shelves. So you try to go to card shows. You keep seeing that every single big transaction has been done with a PSA slam, and you kind of understand this because whenever you were collecting, PSA was in the scene. Maybe it wasn't the biggest grader at the time. Maybe it was Beckett. Maybe it was another company, but PSA was around, right? But now you're seeing all these high value cards and PSA slabs moving. So you start seeing a little bit more research online, and then you kind of start seeing that maybe you don't like what PSA is doing or what PSA is standing for. Now, you're smart because you are an investor yourself. You've made smart financial decisions in your life, and now you're thinking, I can see PSA's perspective. I can see PSA's business models and how they're grabbing hold of everything else. But I don't like it, and I don't think I can support it. I want something that's more geared to collectors. So then you hear about tag and AI grading. You know that AI is kind of like the next big scary thing in the future. It could kill some jobs. It could make some jobs. It could improve our quality of life. It could make our product quality of life um, less improved, not improved. You know, so you start doing more research and you come across this fellow creator. He's always in a dark room with a black shirt with a tax lab. He has some tax labs in the background. Yeah, you start listening to what he's saying and you like it. You start liking some of his videos, you start subscribing, you start binge watching his content, and you're like, dang, Hayes Josdan is making some good points. Maybe they're not going to be like the like he's at least expanding my mind. He's expanding my mind to something that maybe I should do. So you go into work, you still keep binge watching his stuff because you like his content. Good videos, amazing attitude. He's right. So you get to work, you keep watching it, and then all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, holy shit, there he is, my hero, my role model. Hey, it's just Dan. So you go and you approach him and you find out, hey, it's just Dan is not a bad guy. He probably swears a lot at work, but outside from that, he's a cool dude, right? So you start talking and you're like, hey, I want to submit some cards to grading. I was never really into grading myself, right? But I want to go ahead and submit some cards into grading. I was hoping that you can help me. I know you submit. I know you take a lot of L's, but it's okay. I want to submit some cards that I have in my collection, and maybe you can look at them and let me know what you think. Of course, Hayes just then, being the nice guy that he is like, absolutely, man. Go ahead and bring your cards next. I can go to your house if you need me to, because we work together in the same place, right? Hayes just then turns out to be just a postal employee, and you're a postal employee too. So you bring the cards into work. The supervisors see you, they make fun of you guys because like, oh my god, you guys are like little kids, right? But unfortunately, they don't understand. Like being kids, like Pokemon, we were introduced to Pokemon as kids, and it's a good part of our lifestyle, and it's something that we kind of want to pass down to our kids, right? So we don't take offense to it; we take it as a compliment. But he looks through your cards, and you're like, "Hey, these are some good cards. You should consider grading these, not for maybe per se, maybe not for the monetary value behind it, but maybe you should grade these cards because they sound pretty special. You like these Pokemon, so why not, right? From my understanding, you have kids at home, so last thing you want is those little shits touching the raw cards and ruining them. So let's put them behind a beautiful clear plastic that really shows you like the art of the card. Plus, it gives you a little QR code to let you know what the grade is and why it got that grade. So you pick up a couple cards, you submitted cards to grading. And well, yeah, honestly, that's a true story based on my friend Chris. He's a coworker, and you'll probably see him in the channel here and there a little bit more. He's a good person. His collection is pretty sweet, honestly. And some of the cards that we're gonna go ahead and talk about today, it's just like as for collector's points, just stick around and we'll talk about it, right? So, I did the same thing I always do. He liked my videos, he subscribed, and I told him, hey, from the cards that he sent for grading through tag, because this was his first time grading cards, I want you to pick three cards. Three cards that you kind of just want to talk about it and that really stand out to you for whatever reasons, right? And you pick your three cards. He picked his three cards, and then he just told me, bro, please, for the love of God, just don't talk about this one. Too bad, man. It's my channel. I can talk whatever I want. But the card that is in question right now, kind of like it's coming pretty repetitive, but it's going to be the Van Gogh Pikachu, right? He had a copy. He had multiple copies that he given to a couple of his friends, but he had a copy, and that's a copy that we went ahead and ripped, and not ripped, but we unsealed it and sent it for tag rating. And bro, dude, that card came back as a 7.5. And dude, he saw my previous video when I was talking about the gem rate, and the gem rate really relatively low because PSA really pumped up those numbers. But the gem rate for the Van Gogh Pikachu in a tag is not that great. So he saw that video whenever the card was already being graded, and whenever it came back, he already knew not to get his hopes up. And honestly, he knew his copy wasn't that great after he's been watching a couple more videos and understanding a little bit more grading. But bro, sorry, you got a 7.5. As a friend, dude, I'm hurting for you. I do want the best for you. As a fellow collector, as a fellow hater collector, I want you to get some, I want you to win. I really do. But I also want you to take a couple L's here and there. And I think that's hilarious. I'm sorry you took this L, but it was a learning experience. And I really do hope you do better on your next submission or on your next Van Gogh graded card because he's going to do it all over again. So, we'll find out later, right? But let's go ahead and talk about these cards. Um, the first one that I want to go ahead and kind of talk about, they're bangers. They're bangers. Okay, so he didn't want to talk about his 7.5 Van Gogh Pikachu. We're going to be talking about his Unagaba Pikachu, the Japanese promo. Now, I know a lot of people don't like these kind of cards. I personally do. He does too. He likes derpy Pokemon, and he's one of the persons that kind of pushed me to getting the EVGX. Now, the Unagaba Pikachu. Cool looking card. And I told them, like, hey, these cards are going to be notoriously hard to grade, or so I thought, right? But it's just the hollow background leads for a lot of situations for these cards to get scratched up. So don't be surprised if you see surface damage whenever you're grading like the Unagaba cards, right? You got to make sure that these cards are centered correctly, centered right, and on top of that, the biggest thing is like no surface damage because it's a non-texture card, very glossy background. Now his copy came back as a tag 9, which is unfortunate, right? Because this card has a 65% gem rate of getting a 10. So he got a tag 9. Cool thing about this card, or this card being graded to tag, is that there's 9 pristine 10 cards and 162 tag 10s, right? Overall graded, this card of the Unagaba Pikachus have only been graded for there's only like around 250 copies of this card at the moment. And I do see it being more popular being graded in tag just because it looks amazing. Like honestly, whenever I saw this card, like in the pictures, like I want to see it in person, bro. Let me see them in person, right? The card looks amazing in the picture. Now, the raw value of this card, I mean, don't be surprised. Japanese promos have a lot of value. You can even just look at the previous video with classic EverQuest. But the raw value for this card right now is goes for around $120, and whenever we're looking at a 10, it's like around 280. Honestly, I feel like it's a little underrated. It should be closer, pushing closer to 300, maybe 350 at most, right? I feel like it's one of those cards that really hasn't taken off yet, but it's a good card that will. Right? It's a Pikachu card. It's a derpy Pikachu. It stands out. It's different. There's a lot of Pikachu collectors. This card, being a Japanese promo only, will grow. No doubts about it. Right? The black labels go for around $3,000, which is good for the pristine 10 collectors because you have a certified true pristine 10 copy in your collection. There's 9 of you guys out there. Congratulations. That's amazing. Right? Back to his card. So his card had a 53 left for the centering, 53 on the left, 47 on the right, 54 on the top, 46 on the bottom. So yeah, it had like it was not going to be in contention for pristine 10, but a solid candidate for a tag 10. Now, why did it come back as a 9? Well, the reason why is because there seems to be like a little bit of an edge damage on top of the card, right? Which leads me to believe it could have been him, it could have been something, but maybe like whenever they was leaving that card, it got pressed down a little bit too much, like a little dent. So be careful whenever you guys are sleeving and putting away your cards. Like if you're pushing them down on the top loader or on a card saver, be careful. Don't do that. That small little pressure of pushing down the card could potentially damage that card, bringing it from a tag 10 to a tag 9. So learn from that, right? Please don't do that. Here's a prime example of why maybe you shouldn't be securing your cards like that. So yeah, his Unagaba Pikachu, a tag 9, a fantastic card. This is an amazing card, I think, for a collector. This is fantastic card also for a reseller, but the thing is, it's a Japanese promo card. It doesn't hit that $1,000 mark yet as a regular price for a 10. So this card, honestly, I see more collectors going after this card. Let me know if you disagree with that. Now let's go ahead and talk about my favorite card. Well, and actually, no. So let's talk about his favorite card of the set, and that's gonna be the Snorlax from Chilling Reign. Yeah, the secret rare. Now, in his submission, he got a 10. And honestly, I was shocked. I did not think this card was going to get a 10. But then again, I really haven't graded a lot of hyper rares to see what they pick up on, right? But his came back in the tag 10. Now, whenever we're looking at this card, 74 total copies or 76 total copies graded, and it has a gem rate of 56%. There's 43 tens with 0 pristine tens, right? So the value of this card, it goes for around $100 raw. The 10 value of it goes for around 220, and whenever we're looking at the black label value of this card, it's pushing over 2,000. Now his copy had the centering of 52 on the left, 48 on the right. We're also talking about a 50-50 top and bottom centering. So close to pristine 10. However, the centering 52 on the left, 48 on the right takes it off. So, dude, you have a solid copy. Honestly, fantastic copy. Hyper rare cards. I do have one in my collection. I don't know if I want to get a couple more. Some of the hyper rares I want to get are going to be from the Padeon Fates one, but it's going to be at the legendary cards with the blue, like where they're like the shiny hyper rares. I think those are super sweet cards whenever we're talking about collecting. But he has a Snorlax from Chill and Rain, so a little bit more older, not so much popular right now because anything anyone ever really talks about is Scarlet and Violet and now Mega Evolution, right? But Chill and Rain, and not bad, you know. So he has a Snorlax in a 10. He has a Pikachu in a 9. He has 2 Pikachus, but one's a 7.5. But that's besides the point, right? Let's go ahead and talk about the last card and his favorite card in his collection. My favorite card in his collection. Now, for this one, this is going to be a reverse hollow Mew from Expedition set. Now, his copy came back as a 6.5, and honestly, I hope that he's not too upset about it because they are 0 tenths, there are 0 pristine tenths. The highest grade is an 8.5, bro. So honestly, these cards they're kind of in bad shape. I mean, we're talking about 2002, from the car being made in 2002 all the way to now, the chances of it being a tag 8 are slim to none. People born at 2002 till now are not tag 10 materials. This is a thing that I've talked about before. People get damaged, broken, surface damage. Some person says that they're sun damaged or like sun faded, and it happens. I'm a little sun faded myself because being working in the post office. But your copy came back as a 6.5. There's 12 cards graded. It has 0% gem rate. But like I said, the highest graded copy in tag, it's an 8.5. So even if you have this card in your collection, guys, maybe consider grading. Maybe consider grading some of these expedition cards into tag slabs. But if you do, I do see these expedition cards having a very nice price value. Go with the 1,000 point system, right? Go with a 1,000 point system. I think it's going to be more beneficial, especially for the more expensive cards, having the best copy available, especially whenever there's no tens. So with vintage cards, go point system because the highest number is going to be the best grade, the most expensive card when it comes to tech slab, especially for vintage. You guys will see. Now, raw value of this card is $99. It has that Mew tax, and trust me, I understand. It is a beautiful card. Like Mew has never really been one of my favorite Pokemon, but the more I keep doing these videos, the more I keep seeing your guys' collection, and the more I keep seeing Mew cards, yeah, I kind of get it, right? I have a Mew card myself. I'm thinking about grading another Mew card, and why not adding more Mew cards to my collection, right? Mew is kind of up there, and it makes sense. So $99 for a graded copy. Sorry, $99 for a tag 10, $99 for a stupid raw copy, and for a graded 6.5, that kind of translates to like around $220. Like as a 6.5, I will round it up to a 7. I will go up by the 7, so it's like around a $220 card. Now I do see the price of this card going up in value gradually, just because it's a low pop, low graded, super dusty ass old card that will probably value more in time because it's of a very popular Pokemon. The art on it is fantastic. Like it's a nice card. It really, really is. Now, whenever we're looking at the centering of this card, well, we're looking at around 46 on the left, 54 on the right, 57 on the top, 43 on the bottom. Now, as you guys can already see, 57 on the top to 43 on the bottom, that takes it out of tag 10 contention. So at best, this card would have came back as a 9. Now, the back of it is pretty chopped. The front of it looks amazing, but the back of it is pretty chopped. So a, a 6.5 copy of this card is nice. Honestly, if you guys can get something nearby around that or a little bit higher, congratulations. I think this card is a beautiful looking card, and it's by far my favorite card of the set. But yeah, that was his experience grading with tag, his first time experience. Whenever everything was done, I did ask him two things. It's like, hey, bro, tell me, give me something positive about tag rating, give me something negative about tag rating, because you're a collector, this is your first time grading. Tell me your emotions, tell me how was it. The first thing, the positive thing, let's start with the positive. The positive, he said, like, honestly, the transparency is awesome. Like I'm happy about how my cards came back. Like I knew my cards weren't going to be tens, but for the most part, like the fact that they weren't tens is very beneficial. Like, or he liked it because he has stuff that he can gauge it on. He has informations on fours. He got a 4. He got informations on an 8, couple tens, nines, different multiple grades. He got information on that he can look into it so he can make better grading decisions down the road. And that's one of those things that I told you guys before. The dig report is a fantastic report. Like, honestly, it's completely underrated for what it is. And if you're going to consider being a serious grader, having dig report, having data, information like that could really help you improve your game. Whether if you're just trying to beat tag, or if you want to cross over and try to get the black label 10 or PSA 10 or whatever happens in the future. Things change. PSA might not always remain as king. I feel like tag has has the potential to dethrone it. It's gonna take some time and it's gonna take your guys' support, right? But he was happy about it. Like the information, the transparency, the knowing why your cards weren't tens helps him a lot. Now, the negative part about it. Well, whenever I was grading cards, we had a 30-day turnaround with bulk grading. But now it got moved up to 45, and I'm not sure if it's still going to be 45 at the moment of this video. It could be longer, it could be shorter. Who knows right now? But as of right now, there's no remote grading either. So he didn't like how long it took to get hit for him to get his cards back. But on the bright side, he understands that it would have taken way longer if he would have sent those cards to PSA, right? Plus, he sent some cards were already coming back with a $200 value coming back. He was not subjected to that upcharge for those cards. So he was also happy about that because you got to make financial smart decisions in this hobby, especially whenever you're providing for a family or taking care of a family. He's a family guy first. Respect that. I'm happy for him. I really am, right? But he did tell me, it's like after watching a couple of your videos, I also think for your high value chase cards or even vintage cards, you should be grading expedited with the 1,000 point system, right? You get it back faster, but you also get the information faster. Because right now we're looking at a time where we don't know how long this bear market is gonna go. This could be the base, and it could go higher. We personally feel like this bear market right now is going to stay here, but we do see like it crashing with the with another printing facility coming up in the future. We do see Pokemon going down in a slump whenever the US printing facility comes out and they have a direct distribution for big retail stores, that you will see more Pokemon product on the shelves. And that can mean two things. One, that there's an oversupply in the markets with some of the new graded Pokemon cards or some of the new Pokemon cards coming out post printing facility could be the entering the phase of the junk wax era, the mass printing era, right? I still think that whenever you're going to be collecting cards, graded cards, you want to have the best copy possible, even with the mass production, right? But we see the casual people, the people that only believe on the raw card value, exiting the hobby. We see scalpers exiting the hobby, resellers exiting the hobby just because there's going to be an oversupply of cards. And think about it. You're into collecting now. Whenever you went to a store and you saw Pokemon shelves, sometimes you skipped on it because there was plenty. Like, I'll come back to it later. I'll come back to that later. I got to put priority somewhere else. Now, it's like you see Pokemon cards. It might not be the set that you might want, but you'll go and you get it. Why? Because you know you can bargain it. You can bargain with it. You can use it to trade for it, get something else. You can resell it, right? But if you start seeing different Pokemon product on the shelves, are people going to step away off? We think they will. We think they will. So, as the Pokemon market continues to go down, I forgot my train of thought, my origin point about it. But oh yeah, so you want to get it back faster. You want to have the information back using the 1,000 point system, so that way you can make smart decisions, especially if you want to sell high or like which copies you want to maintain for your collections. you know, I've gone to vending shows with him, and he really likes asking the vendors. It might piss off the vendors, but oh well, you're there to provide a service for us, right? Looking at the card and seeing if it's really the best copy available. And like just hearing him talk about it and getting my opinion too, like it's something that I think whenever you're collecting with a person, with another person, it makes the hobby that much better. Talking about it, showing your guys' W's, showing you guys' L's, like it brings you closer together, and I think like it really makes a hobby that much special, especially whenever you get to do it with another grown adult, because later down the road you're most likely going to end up doing it with your kids. If you're true collectors and if you have kids, you're going to pass it down, and you're going to be you know collecting with your kids, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be catering more to them than to yourselves. Well, I imagine you would if you guys weren't a piece of shit parent. Hey, but to each their own, right? If you put yourselves first, that's on you. If you put your kids first, congratulations on being a good adult. But Let me know what you guys think. Like, if you haven't graded with tag, would you consider grading with tag just to get the information back? Or are you a PSA supremacist who, for some reason, made it this far into the video? And if you did, well, sucks for you, but you're really just helping another tag content creator just talk more about the hobby and spread awareness. I mean, that's it from that. I hope you guys having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.